Chapter 3 Camping. Narrated by Sayumi Vijayasuriya.
Chapter 3 Camping. Day 1, Monday, April. Today was the most exciting day out of all. It's because Miss Binny had planned for us to go camping for 3 days. Now it is night time of the first day of the trip. I'm in the tent with Hazel. During the daytime, we did a lot of things. It was around 9:30 when we came to our campsite. I was excited. At first, we put up the tent with the help of Miss Binny, Miss Blair, our scouting teacher, and Miss Shelley, our sports teacher. Our campsite was near a lake, and the place was alluring. Near the lake was a water sports center. Miss Binny told that we will be doing water sport during tomorrow. The schedule of day 1 was Day 1, 9:30 to 10:30, putting up the tent. 10:30 to 11, morning snack. 11 to 1, play games. 1 to 2, lunch. 2 to 6, fishing in the lake. 6 to 7, supper. 7 to 8, singing around campfire. 8 to 9, storytelling. 9, bedtime. After putting up the tents, we had our snacks. After the snack time, we played games, like catch, had races, and many other games. It was awesome. After 2 hours of playing games, we had our lunch, sitting on the benches near the lake. The sight was breathtaking. After our lunch, we went to fish in the lake with Miss Taylor, taught us how to do fishing. I caught around 5 fish. My first fish was a medium-sized one. Miss Taylor told us to put the fish back in the water when we catch one, because we shouldn't harm them. Therefore, when we caught a fish, we put it back to the lake. Fishing was terrific. I adored it. After fishing for around 4 hours, we went back to the campsite and had a supper under the stars. It was splendid. After supper, we sang songs around the campfire, which I enjoyed the most. Then we told stories we knew. A boy named Mark told the story of a carrot that ran away from a house because of the fear of being cooked and at last got eaten up by a rabbit, which sounded rather funny to me. After stories was bedtime. Now I am in the tent with Hazel, going to sleep, hoping to have a great day tomorrow. Day 2, Tuesday, April. Today is the second day of camping. Today I had a greater day than yesterday. Just like yesterday, I'm writing this before going to sleep in the tent. Today's schedule was 6 o'clock, wake up. 6 o'clock to 6:30, get dressed. 6:30 to 7:30, breakfast. 7:30 to 8, a small break. 8 to 1, water sports. 1 to 2, lunch break. 2 to 6, a small hike. 6 to 7, supper. 7 to 8, singing around campfire. 8 to 9, storytelling. 9, bedtime. Hazel and I woke up at 6 and got dressed by 6:30. Then we had our breakfast and had a small break. After that, at around 8, Miss Shelley took us to the water sports center to do some water sports. I was thrilled. The first water sport we did was canoeing. We canoed around the lake and it was really fun. We then did water skiing, which seemed quite dangerous, but I managed to do it safely. We even did a type of snorkeling in the lake. I saw many fish and it really seemed like snorkeling in the sea. It was amazing. I loved it very much. Without knowing, the time had gone and we had to leave the water sports center. I felt really sad to go from the water sports center. After coming from the water sports center, we had our lunch. Just like yesterday, we had our lunch in the same place. After lunch, we went on a small hike in the small wood nearby. Miss Blair, our scouting teacher, and Miss Fallon, our environmental studies teacher, were in charge of it. We got ready with a notebook and pen to write important facts and a magnifying glass. While walking, we saw ants walking one after the other, and when we looked from the magnifying glass, we saw them carrying food. It was thrilling watching them. We saw a nest of a bird and a bird feeding its babies with worms. It was really nice. We saw small squirrels eating nuts and butterflies drinking nectar. The sight was marvelous. Since it grew dark, we came back to our campsite and had supper under the stars and sang songs and told stories afterwards. Then it was bedtime. Now I'm going to sleep with Hazel, feeling sad that we have to leave this campsite and go home tomorrow. Day 3, Wednesday, April. Today is the day we have to go home. Now it's around 3 p.m. and we're heading home in the school bus. The morning was also fun. The schedule was 6 o'clock, wake up. 6 o'clock to 6:30, get dressed. 6:30 to 7:30, breakfast. 7:30 to 10:30, ride in the lake. 10:30 to 11, a snack. 11 to 12, play games. 12 to 1, pack things up to go home. 1 to 2, lunch. 2 to 4, head back to school. 4, be at school. Today morning, Hazel and I woke up, got dressed, and we all joined and had breakfast for one last time. We went on a ride in the lake. Afterwards, we had a snack. As we should go home today, we packed our things up and had our lunch. Like in the schedule, we had to leave our campsite by 2. If you want to read about the trouble we fell into, read from now on. If you want to read about Miss Binny's surprise, read from page 30. We set off from the campsite at about 2 p.m. as planned. As Miss Binny wanted us to see and learn about nature, she shifted from the normal route to another route which goes through a forest. It looked creepy. It was so dark in the forest with lots of tall and huge trees reaching the sky with little nests of little birds on those trees. We were feeling the cool breeze from the forests, and the sun was not at all to be seen, even in the early afternoon, because of the trees which were making a high roof to prevent sunlight from coming. I don't think that even the rain can come down from the trees to grow. Therefore, I asked Miss Binny about how trees grow that much when even rain can't come down properly. She said that maybe there is a lot of moisture down in the soil and underground water may be there. I was rather surprised. After some time, we heard a squelching noise and our school bus stopped. We got a bit scared. When the bus started to go, I saw mud was flying here and there. We asked Miss Binny what had happened, and she told that there had been a big puddle of mud and we had mistakenly driven through it and then we had got stuck. I asked Miss Binny what we should do to get out of the mud. She told that we would try to get out of the mud a few times, and if we couldn't, we would have to call for rescue. We tried a lot of times to get out of the mud, which took nearly an hour, but still we couldn't. Miss Binny told us that there is a flat tire, so we can't drive even if we get out of the mud. She called for the rescue service and asked for a towing truck, so we could be towed back to school. After like an hour, a truck came. The people who came were really friendly when we told what had happened. They told us not to worry and helped us to get back out of the mud. They also towed us to school. On the way, Miss Binny bought us ice creams and chocolates. Just now we arrived at our school. I think the time is 6 p.m. We became very late because our bus broke down. I saw my mother waiting for me. I think she must be worried as we are late. The camping was great, especially when we got towed to school. It was really adventurous too. I feel really sad to come back, but I was really hoping Miss Binny would arrange to go camping again another day. Now this is Miss Binny's surprise. We left the campsite at 2 p.m. as planned. During the journey of coming back to school, we were all sad to leave the campsite. Because of that, Miss Binny gave us some chocolates to enjoy and a book of puzzles to us. Haley and I were sitting together and we got the book of puzzles and we started doing it. Others too got it. This was a puzzle in the book. We enjoyed the puzzles very much. After completing the puzzles, we started playing some games in the bus like Would You Rather and Hangman. We enjoyed it a lot. After some time of playing games, our bus stopped near a place called Amusement World. We were rather surprised seeing it. Miss Binny called out to us and told us to get down from the bus. We got down from the bus and just then Miss Binny and the other teachers cried, "Surprise!" We were happy and also confused. Then Miss Binny explained to us that the teachers had planned to take us to an amusement park during the journey back to school. And even though in the schedule it had said that we would be at school at 4 p.m. for us, for our parents the teachers had told we would be at school by 6 p.m. and had also told them not to tell us about it as it was a surprise. We were super surprised hearing and we thanked Miss Binny and the other teachers. When we entered the park, we were euphoric. First, Miss Binny took tickets to go on the roller coaster. We were exuberant. We all got on the roller coaster and followed the safety rules. It was lucky as nobody in our class was afraid of heights. We started the ride. It was not much fast, but we rode around and up and down, etc. Next, Miss Binny got tickets to go in the Ferris wheel. I love to go on the Ferris wheel. Hazel and I sat together and the ride started. The ride on the Ferris wheel enraptured us. After that, we went on a dark ride. It was awesome. The designs and the lights were really eye-catching. I loved it. Next, Miss Binny took tickets to my favorite thing out of all. It was the bumper cars. We got onto them and drove them. It was exhilarating. Then we went on a ride in the Sky Train. It was super fun. It seemed like we were flying above the whole amusement park. After playing outdoor games, we went to the indoor games. There were video games and many more. If we win any game, we also win a prize. I played some video games and won them. There was also a mini bowling alley. I tried it and I was able to knock 5 pins down. I was really happy. There was a place where we were able to fish toys up, and I tried it, but I wasn't successful. The first time, but the second time I won. I won a small teddy bear. After that, I played a few more video games. Then, Hazel and I went to the kids' play center, where there were slides, bouncy castles, etc. I enjoyed a lot there. There was also air hockey, and Hazel and I played it. Hazel won. There was a toy train and we rode on it, which was very fun. Next, we all rode in the indoor carousel, which was pretty enjoyable to ride on. There was a spiral tube slide which was really long. I went on it and it felt the same way I felt when I was riding the roller coaster. After we played in the indoor park, Miss Binny took us to a cafe in the park and bought us snacks. After we enjoyed the snacks, we had to leave the park. Therefore, we got on our school bus and started traveling back home. While traveling back, we did many games like before and enjoyed the ride. Hazel and I got together and played chess. I had bought it from home while we were camping. Hazel won the game. We also made songs up and sang them and had a lot of fun. Just now we arrived at our school. I think the time is 6 p.m. I see my mother waiting for me. The camping was great, especially when we went to the amusement park and played games, which was very fun. The camping was adventurous and also fun. Now I have a lot to go and say to my little sister about the camping. I think she would feel really happy to see me after a few days. However, I feel really sad to come back as the camping was super great and I enjoyed it very much. But I really hope that Miss Binny would arrange to go camping again another day so I could have so much fun again.